It's a festive 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. Welcome in, my friends. The week of Christmas is here. We're all having a wonderful time. It is the season of giving. So, I would like to talk to you about the concept of giving, in my opinion, and talk through some things that I have noticed about giving. First of all, giving folks your time is something that is not terribly expensive, but is something that means a lot. When you offer your time, or if someone asks for your time, it's personal. Do you know what I mean? It's something that you have a real chance to connect and make a difference in that moment for that individual in that time and space. And that to me is extremely important. I try to give my time whenever possible. Now, I do run a business, and so I have to be smart with that. Most times I look to monetize my time as it is, but there is plenty of time throughout the course of a year that I will give that time to folks to try and help move things forward. I've been doing this a long time, and so my hope, as it always has been, like many of you, including my guy Dave Foy, is to leave this industry better than I found it. And in order to do so, I think the main thing we have to do is continually be communicating and educating the next, team of people to come through our industry, right? The next crop of individuals that enter in. I think it's huge. I think it's important that we be looking out for the future. But in terms of giving, I also want to make sure that we don't get taken advantage of for our giving. You see, I have a wonderful mother who gives her time to people all the time, but she does it at a detriment to herself. And she's well aware of this. She knows this, but it is who she is at her root. And so it's difficult for her to see that. Sometimes I have to say to her, hey, did you really need to do that? And her point is, you do for others for as long as you can do. And so I respect it. I understand it. We don't necessarily agree conversationally with it. It puts her in situations where she has to go out of her way for others when others do not for her. Now, I've had a pretty hard and fast rule my whole life that I do not do what others do. I do what I do, whether that's good or bad. It's also part of not being reactive, right? So when someone does something, people are like, well, then we got to get back. I don't look at it that way. I don't do what other people do because they do it. I do for me because it's meaningful to me. So when I think about giving and I think about the season of giving, one of the things that I've really noticed lately that it struck me as terribly odd. I'm, as most of you know, I'm in a bowling league, have been most of my life. And so our bowling league has a sort of, holiday party, if you will. And this year it was because bowling falls on New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve. It was early, but anyways, we had it. And so we have it's like a booze shoot, right? Just give away a bottle of liquor to the, 4 highest scores, blah, blah, blah. But I'm always on the committee to bring the booze. So I was on my way in, I stopped at the liquor store. I walk in, there's a line of 3 people. I'm fourth. And everyone goes about their lives. There's not a lot of conversation. There's not a lot of anything. And I get it. It's retail, whatever. And I walk up and the young lady, give her the bottle, and she, scans it and comes back to me and she says, oh, I'm not even going to ask. And I thought to myself, oh boy, what question did she have she didn't want to ask me? So of course, being who I am, I can't let that go away. So I said, what's on your mind? She goes, no, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. And I said, no, please. I mean, we're both standing here. There's no one behind me. Just please tell me what's on your mind. And she says, yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to round up for charity. Okay. It's like, holiday charity jackets and, goods for the local kids, whatever the case was. And I thought, well, of course. And it's something that struck me, and it really started to bug the shit out of me when I realized that the people ahead of me had all said no. And that's why she didn't want to ask me. See, now this is a lesson in sales as well wrapped in here, folks. Sales is a number game. Same thing I told her. Sales number game, you got to keep asking, you got to keep asking. She says, no, I ask all the time. But after so many no's in a row, I figure people get tired of it. And as I said to her, hey, most of the people you see different each and every day. There's not going to be not a lot of people. Now, granted, there are some in the world that you may see more than once a day in the liquor store. But for the most part, it would be daily at best and weekly at more realistic, hopefully. And so she said, yeah, well, I just, I hate bothering people. And I said, it's not a bother. And I said, of course I will round up. My total was like $33.30, right? 70 cents. The most it could cost someone in a given moment is 99 cents. Now, I realize we are not in the best of economic times. I totally understand that. But whatever position we are in, typically, and especially if we are in a liquor store, not all the time, but typically, there are people in worse situations than us. So then I sort of cataloged it and I thought, all right, well, I'm going to pay attention while I'm out in the rest of retail. I'm out at the rest of retail. I'm at my local Ace Hardware. Okay. 2 women ahead of me, separate transactions, both asked, both had 60 cents and 40 cents. Because it's a roundup scenario, folks. These people are not asking you for more dollars. They're simply saying, would you like your $13.60 to be rounded up to $14? Okay. And in a world where the penny is going away, this shit should be commonplace. And on top of that, who the fuck wants to walk around with change in their pocket? Like, there's so many reasons to say yes. And I hate to say, especially because of the season, but here it goes. Especially because of the season, man. I mean, really, what are we talking about here where we can't be looking out for one another over 60, 70, 80, 90 cents? It's crazy to me. But both women said no. And when I got up there, wouldn't you know it, if the young guy didn't ask me, and I said, hey, you mind if I round up for the holidays? And he, oh my God, yes, goes in his computer. Thank you so much. His demeanor completely changed. But again, he had been told no twice before that. Now let's imagine I was there in the middle of the day. He probably had 30 other transactions where the same thing had occurred. Again, the sales lesson here, never give up. Sales and numbers game, hit the numbers as frequently and as often as possible. Plain and simple. That's how you get it done. But more importantly, folks, not only this time of year, but I like the idea of doing good things the whole year, you see? And so just think about it. The next time someone asks you if you'd like to round up 64 fucking cents to help someone in need, please say yes. Please don't give it another thought. And I know there's a lot of questions about, will this money go to the charity as opposed to? Those aren't for us to decide. If you're at a major chain grocery store, you have to hope and assume all is being done above board. You can't do much else, because if you become that cynical of the world around us, it's going to be difficult to move forward, especially in the next 3 years. If you're not a person of negativity, you will need to find other ways to do it. My friends, thank you so much for joining me on this festive, fun, holiday version of 5 Minutes with Sean, maybe 10, all about giving, how we can do more of it, and try not to be a pain in the ass when doing it. Thank you all so much. Go out, enjoy your Christmas week, have fun on the eve and then the day of Christmas. We'll be back here next week to talk about setting a New Year's expectation and goals. Teaser, I don't do goals. Thanks a lot. Have a great week. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone. Thank you.